What's going on, everybody? It's your girl D here with 8th House Energy, and I'm here to do a reading for the karmic, which one is this going to be? Is this going to be the karmic masculine or karmic feminine? This is going to be the karmic feminine. I see a lot of videos out there that talk to the divine feminine and that talk about the karmic feminine. I started doing videos on the karmic masculine because I didn't see any on the karmic masculine. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a video where, you know, if you know that you are in a karmic, like, first of all, karmic, let's talk about that. A karmic person is someone who's put in your life to teach you a particular lesson. And so we all have been a karmic to somebody at some point in our lives, whether we recognize, respect, understand, reject, or not. And a lot of you are coming out of relationships where, you know, as far as your feminine energy, you're coming out of a relationship where your partner may be leaving you for someone else. And you may not understand why. And that is because, you know, you are not accepting the fact that, you know, this is a karmic partnership. And you both were here to teach each other lessons. And then once the lessons are learned, you split up. So this video is going to be dedicated to the feminine energy who was the karmic in the relationship, the karmic feminine. Because there are some things that you can do to bring yourself, like any type of negative energy that you may have put out there as a result of being in this connection, in this relationship. You can, you know, pray to your ancestors and ask for forgiveness. You can turn your world around. And so what you want to do is just focus on maybe why you were in a position where you were this person's karmic, why you lost out in this connection, and what it is that you can do to try to turn things around before we get to Pisces season. Because Pisces season is all about karma, you know. And so if there was any negative things that you've done in the relationship as a karmic, for example, a lot of karmic feminine energies were doing black magic on the divine feminines, as well as the masculines that they were dealing with. A lot of the karmic feminines were doing all kinds of whatever underhanded dirty things to keep their partner. Okay, now this is not just about relationships. It could have been some of you may be karmics, and you may be a karmic to your child. Okay, or you may have a parent who is a karmic. Anybody who played a karmic in a person's life where they caused any harm or damage and they know that they did, and they feel like, you know what, I was wrong. I see the error in my ways. I want to get this resolved. I want to repent. I want to take care of, you know, any negative energy or any negative karma that I have. I want to try to right the wrongs that I've done. Long story short, you know, that involves ancestor work, praying to your ancestors, setting up an ancestor altar. I did a video on that, so check that out. It's in the 2021 collective playlist. You can set up a very basic altar on a meager budget. You can, of course, be more elaborate if you want, but that's just something to set up really just to get you started. You know, or for people who like travel and they don't have, you know, they may live with somebody, or you know, they just may not have the financial means to set up anything elaborate. But, you know, writing affirmations with the moon energy is another thing that you can do. But I'm going to pull some cards here from the dark mirror, which will tell you some of the things as to why you may have been put in this position and what are some of the things you may need to work on to get yourself in a position where, you know, the debt that you accrue, the karmic debt that you accrue, may not be as harsh, because the universe sees that you're trying to change your ways. So let's see what we get here for you. I'm going to do one for the karmic masculine as well. Alright, so we got these 3 that turned out. So 1, 2, 3. I need 2 more. 1, 2. Alright, so this is the dark mirror. This is a deck that deals with the shadow work that needs to be done, okay? For anybody who wants to do shadow work, who wants to tap into their shadow side to find out what's going on so that you can start working on healing yourself. So this is called Calling the Storm. Number 30, overall energy, Calling the Storm. Now I'm going to be referring to the book at some point, or at most points during this reading. Okay, to give you a better understanding of what the author is saying about this. And then I'll be, flowing off of that intuitively. So, calling the storm, it says a shaman. Here it is here. So it says, a shaman woman wears and this is very small writing, forgive me. She wears an amulet hat, dresses in crimson and brown, and holds her crow-headed staff to the storm. Autumn leaves spiral out of control around her as the whirlwind shakes the world. This is all about pull and release, pushing to the limit. The eye is the only peaceful place that can be. This is calling on the storm. So this is, to me, this is an energy of what the karmic feminine was doing. As far as it could have been dark magic, but whatever it was that she was doing, where she refused to leave or let go of the masculine energy. Anything that she was trying to do, whether it was, trying to have a child by him, or saying that a child, maybe she was sleeping with someone else and got pregnant by someone and said it was his to keep him around, whether she was doing dark magic on him and or any woman that she knows that he was dealing with, whether she was seeing potential in her children and maybe was jealous or envious of them and was trying to hold them back, not showing love, not being nurturing, not being appreciative, whether she was jealous and envious of her sisters or brothers or any other family members and was just trying to cause drama and keep drama going in the family. All sorts of things that the karmic feminine was doing to cause problems because of the hurt that she was feeling inside. All right, so the current situation is that we have artificial heart. So this is an energy of someone who really, artificial. They don't love you. There's fake love here. There's not love here. And I feel like this energy is artificial heart because this person, maybe they did not receive any loving or nourishing energy when they were growing up. So it's very difficult for this person to show love, to someone else. This could have been someone who was considered a black sheep in the family, someone who grew up in an environment where maybe they grew up in foster care system and they had the unfortunate experience of not being around loving, nurturing parents. This could be an energy of someone who grew up in the streets. Family members or people who raised this person could have been addicts or, just could have been hurtful people themselves. And so this is, passed on. This could be generational also. Okay, so this person is pretending, I feel like was pretending that there was love there and there wasn't. So this person really doesn't know how to love because this person doesn't love themselves. So the love that they felt for the karmic masculine or the masculine that they were dealing with was not real love. It was more like possession. It was more like, I want you, you need to stay with me, and this is someone who realizes or needs to accept the fact that where they were coming from was not a place of love. It wasn't love at all. It was a place of possession. It was a place of anger, frustration, aggravation. So this person basically, I feel like she grew up in an environment where there was very little love. Okay, and so as a result of her growing up in these environments where she wasn't emotionally nourished, she went out into the world and started attracting, like I tell a lot of people, this is what happens to a lot of us. You go out into the world and you start attracting these same type of people that raised you, where they didn't give you any emotional nourishment or any emotional attention. And so as a result, a lot of you, what you did was as a child, you tried to people please. It's like, okay, your parent didn't care about you emotionally. You didn't understand it then. They may have provided for you, but they just didn't show any emotional nourishment. And so as a result, you would do whatever you could to try to please this parent, and it never worked. And so, you felt like, okay, I'll get it. I'll get it. One day I'll get it. All I have to do is keep doing and so a lot of you would do that. And so it didn't work. Even into your adulthood, some of you still are grappling with that, trying to please that parent. That parent was a karmic partner in your life. That parent was in your life to teach you to love yourself regardless to how anybody else feels about you, and not to put yourself out there and people please and put yourself in a position of being taken advantage of. But some people did not learn that lesson as a child, and as a result, that behavior, that toxic behavior of trying to people please to get someone to love them, is the same energy that this karmic feminine was implementing or showing with the men that she dealt with. So unfortunately, she may have run into some men who did her really dirty, did her really bad. So she runs into this particular individual that she's with, and as a result, because her heart is hardened, and because she's been treated so terribly, this is what she learns, this is what she knows, so this is how she moves moving forward. So she does anything she can to keep the masculine with her. So she will do all sorts of dark magic. She will do, and a lot of times she could be doing magic and not even know it. Her bloodline, she could come from a bloodline of diviners, of people who did practice in the arts. And all she has to do is just wish enough, and that would be enough energy, to put out negative energy to either the masculine or the other woman who's dealing with the masculine. Some women, they just, they come from, like I said, some of them come from a line of diviners where, they come from a line of women who practiced, or high priests. Doesn't have to just be women, but high priests as well. And so they have family members that they go to and they get help. They lie to their family members and tell them, oh, this is what's going on. And their family members, some of them are just not wise witches or wise high priests, and they'll just do it, or they'll do the magic for them. Okay. Or, this person realizes their power and they do it. But this is somebody who is not coming from a place of love, because they didn't know love. They didn't understand love. And this is all that this person is looking for. So that's the current situation right now. This person just doesn't have any love in their heart because they don't know what love is. The next card here is envious gluttony. That's the challenge. The challenge is that this karmic feminine energy, is jealous. Jealous of the fact that the masculine is showing other women attention. Jealous of the fact that because she came from that environment where she never got the emotional nourishment she needed when she dealt with this particular man here, she would do whatever she could. She would people please, do whatever it is that he wanted, or whatever she felt he needed, she would give him that. And she could have dealt with a karmic masculine as well. And so as a result, she has been put in a position where she's been done wrong. And so that's how she operates now, from a place of, okay, well, this is what I have to do to get what I want. This is what I have to do to keep who I want. I'll have to lie. I'll have to get pregnant. I'll have to, take the condom off, sleep the condom off on the low. I'll have to get him drunk enough or high enough, or put something in his food to keep him with me. I have to put blood in his food, or I'll have to have my aunt whip up this potion that I'll put in his, I'll drip it on his weed, or I'll put it in his pills, or you know what I'm saying? That type of energy. And this is to keep him, because she's greedy. Okay, she wants what she wants, and she will do whatever she needs to keep him around. And so as a karmic feminine, you have to understand why you're doing what you're doing. And it's because of the fact that you did not stop and say, hey, I don't need love from other people. I just need to love myself. And once you understand that, then that energy of you being greedy and grabbing something that technically is not for you, it's just something you want, and you see it and you want it. It's not for you. You'll know when something is not for you, and you'll know, okay, I can't, I'm not going to chase you. If you don't want me, that's fine. But see, this karmic feminine, she does not understand that. So what she does is she's trained to people please. It's like, okay, if that's not good enough, I'll do something else. Okay, if that's not good enough, I'll do this. And so she runs into men who allow her to do that, and they use her and take advantage of her. And so because of that, that's what she does to the masculine. So she'll do all kinds of things. So she's jealous, very envious and jealous if he shows any attention to any other woman. And that's what drives her bonkers. Now, what is her higher self or her lower self telling her? Her guardian angel, spirit guides, ancestors, what have you. Like, what energy is she listening to, and what is this energy telling her? So we have anger and chains. So yes, she's chained in anger and frustration is what it is. And this is what her higher self or her lower self is trying to tell her. Whatever voice it is that she's listening to. It's anger and it's frustration. And that anger is what keeps her chained to this mentality that she has to do whatever she has to do at any cost to keep the masculine that she decides to go after. Whether she has to lie and say the child is his and it's really not, because she's out here messing around, because she's dealing with, for example, you have a karmic feminine who would be dealing with a man that she really wants to be with, but he has no interest in her because of how she maneuvers, how she doesn't have any self-esteem. She's people pleasing. She, is just overboard and very needy. Do you love me? Do you want to be with me? Why don't you want to be with me? Are we in a relationship? Da, 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 da. Like that type of energy, that's the energy of low self-esteem. And this is what she has. And so, she's also the type of energy that won't let a man breathe. Like, she'll want him to call out of work instead of going to get his money. She'll want him to take her everywhere he goes. She won't allow him to go be with his friends and spend time with his friends. She'll want to go. She don't want him to go, be with his family. She'll want to be over, like she always has to be underneath him. That type of energy doesn't give the man time to breathe or to, be himself or to be by himself. That type of energy. And so, she's keeping him chained to her because of her anger and frustration that she has going on. And so as a result of that, this is what she needs to recognize. Like, this is all about doing healing work. All right. All of this stems from childhood. Where her head is at right now is blinded to pain. So she's blinded to the pain that she went through as a child. Like, she has no idea that this, whatever went on in her childhood, is a direct reflection of what she's experiencing right now in her life, real time right now. Like, she has no clue. I feel like for some of them, though, because they're watching the videos as well, they're starting to understand. And they're starting to realize that, okay, I understand where this pain and frustration is coming from. It's coming from the way I was raised or what happened to me in my childhood, the unfortunate things I experienced. And a lot of them know what happened to them, and they know that they had a rough environment and a rough childhood. But it's just like, it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. Instead of stopping and saying, yeah, that hurts, that's painful. And as a result of that hurt and pain, I'm carrying that on into my relationships. Some of them, they just, it's just like, okay, whatever. They're oblivious to what happened to them in their childhood and how it affects them today. And why they're in the types of relationships where they're not getting what they want, where they end up always being envious and jealous, or they end up attracting men who don't want to be with them because they're not giving these men space, they're not respecting themselves. And so these men are looking at them like, okay, I can't get rid of you, you won't leave me alone, so I'm going to just start treating you like shit. I'm going to start dating women in front of you. And so, when you're vibrating low on that level and the man that you're dealing with is vibrating low on that, this is why this shit becomes disastrous. And then he may dump her and then she'll latch onto, a divine masculine, who might be just gravitating a little low right now. And then all of a sudden now he's ensnared in her trap. Next thing you know, he got her pregnant and the shit is just a vicious cycle. And so for a lot of you who have a divine masculine, this is what your divine masculine ran into. Okay, so that you have an understanding, because some of you, you're dealing with the divine masculine who has a child by this woman. And if you're going to be with this divine masculine, you're going to have to understand this woman's psychology so that you have an understanding of how to deal with her. And understand where she's coming from. Not so that you could be empathetic to her, but yeah, in a way. So yes, you can be empathetic and you can understand where she's coming from, so that way you don't get engulfed in the games that she plays. And also you can protect yourself. Okay? The outcome here is the queen of my world. So, this is what she wants. She wants to be the queen of his world. Okay? And you see she has on a lot of red. So this is all about her feeling her passion, her fire within her. She wants to be number one. And for some of you, you're going to have to co-parent with this woman. All right. So you're going to have to understand who she is. It's okay. So this is saying, I set limits to my world inside. I am queen and outside is lost. Yeah, so what this is basically saying here is that she feels that she is going to have control over him. She wants to have control over him when he's in a relationship with you. She's not going to stop. The thing is she's just not going to stop. She's going to try to pull out all the antics that she can to keep him away from the divine feminine. Okay, so you're going to have to understand that about this woman so that you know what you're dealing with here, so that you can educate your divine masculine on what is going on. Because some of you, the divine masculine knows, but because you two are going to get together, you guys got to sit down and have a talk on how you both as a team are going to deal with her. Because you cannot allow her to split you two up. That's what the problem is going to be, because that's her goal. She is going to try to split you two up, and she's going to do whatever she can to do it. Let's get a couple more character cards out here for her. Okay, jealousy. Came out again. Envious, gluttony. All right, and jealousy. Now, the difference between envy and jealousy, one is actually thinking it in your head, and the other is actually taking it out as far as having action. So being, is it jealousy? That is the thought, like you're jealous of someone. Yeah, it's like she's jealous of you. And then how she acts it out is enviousness, envious gluttony, where, she's constantly around him, constantly underneath him, won't allow him to go anywhere. Like, this is someone who, just imagine someone just grabbing someone and putting their arms around him and not letting them go. And he's like walking and she's dragging, he's dragging her everywhere. Like she's a monkey on his back. Because she's jealous of, the attention that he shows you. And this is all it is, a straight jealousy. So that's what makes her do the shit she does. It's because she's jealous. So, karmic feminine, you're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to either speak with a therapist. You're going to have to pray to your ancestors and your spirit guides. I'm going to attach a video at the end here. Some of you are stubborn. The karmic feminine is very stubborn, very determined to have what she wants to have. Doesn't care what anybody else says because she's been so hurt and so, abused that it's like it's hard for her to come out of that way because that's all she knows. I'm going to attach the video here that talks about healing and some of the things that you can do to heal your inner child. I'll attach that at the end of the video. But this is basically, this woman needs help. She needs therapy. She likes attention. She wants his attention. Live on stage is all about you having attention. When you're live on stage, you got everybody's attention. So she's going to do whatever she can to get his attention. Yeah, because what she does is she sucks the energy and the life out of him. Like if you had somebody, I just look at it like the monkey on your back. Everywhere you go, this person, how you have a little kid and, a little toddler and you put them, they grab your leg and they sit on your foot and you walk and you're dragging them with your foot, like that type of thing. Like this is what I imagine. And so like she's always on him like that. And so she's draining his energy, draining his resources, draining his finances. She's upset because, okay, well, you know what? If you're going to go be with her, I got a child by you. So you're going to make sure that I'm good. You're going to pay for everything that I need. So she'll be calling, asking for extra money, doing all this sorts of stuff. And so the divine masculine needs to understand this as well. He needs to understand her behavior too, so that he knows how to counteract this. Some of the divine masculines, unfortunately, once they get settled with you, divine feminine, and I'm talking to the divine masculine as well because both of you are probably watching, what may have to happen is if this is so extreme, this behavior, you may have to file for custody of your child. Some of you, it may get to that point where you'll have to file for custody. But what you'll have to do, divine masculine, and a lot of people say, oh, well, the court system's not going to do that. It's geared to benefit the woman. Well, if he can show that he has a steady employment, and the woman that he's with, first of all, he's married. The woman that he's with has steady employment. They're able to financially take care of a child. They have a home that is conducive to child rearing. Then at least he could file for joint custody, where he could have the child a certain amount of time. Okay, and she can't say shit because the court says that's what she has to do. So that might be something that would have to be considered. Okay, because you're not just trapped dealing with her. Oh, she's the mother. That's all I can't do anything about it. That's not true. Not if you're truly serious about who you want to be with, and not if you're truly serious about your child. It may be a journey, okay? It may be a journey, but it can be done. It has been done, okay? So that's something that some of you, depending on what she is, see, she has ill intentions. Ill intentions towards the divine masculine and a divine feminine. So some of you, if there's black magic being done, you're gonna have to get some protection. You're gonna have to reach out to a high priest, a high priestess, to get protection. Okay. You're gonna have to figure out, based on your situation, what it is that you can do. But you too have to act as a team, especially to the divine feminine, the divine masculine who intends to marry his divine feminine. This is gonna be some shit for the karmic feminine. She is not going to be able to deal with this well at all. So she's going to come out guns blazing. Okay? So you and your divine feminine, you're going to have to sit down and have a hard, long talk about you two being a team. Okay? Number one, and what you're going to do. And divine feminine, you need to allow him, the divine masculine, to handle the situation with the karmic feminine. It is not for you to jump in, because that is his responsibility. You can be on the sideline speaking to him, as far as, if he comes to you and says, hey, I'm having a problem dealing with this. This is what I've done. This is what I tried. This, you know what I'm saying? Then you can give him, as his queen, you give your input. You tap in intuitively to your feminine energy, and you understand what it is with this woman, and you say, okay, well, how about you approach it in this sense? How about you call on your family, or you do A, B, and you be there to encourage him. But in the end, you stand back and allow him, as a divine masculine, to handle that situation. Because if you don't, divine feminine, you're going to make the situation worse. It's like going from the fire pan to the fire. Okay, this is not a situation where, now that you're with the divine masculine, you want to start calling the shots towards this woman and her child. That's the last thing you want to do. Okay, the last thing you want to do. So you stand back in your privacy of your home, your own home, with your divine masculine. You talk to him and ask him what he feels he should do. Here's what I'm seeing, and here's what I'm understanding. And, what do you feel you should do about this? What are your options? And let him work this out. Now, let him feel like he's the one who's coming up with it, and he has to deal, because in the end, he does. But you're supposed to be there for support. You're supposed to be his cheerleader, okay? You're not supposed to just be like, okay, well, yeah, I'm head bitch in charge now. And you know what I'm saying? And no, that is not going to work at all. You want peace. You have to think about the child, okay? You really have to think about the child, or the children that are involved, and the hell that they're going to be going through once their mama knows, you know what I'm saying, that the father's not going to be there with her anymore. He's going to be with someone else. And then the fact that these children have to deal with getting to know you and the relationship with you. So please keep the children in mind here, okay? Yeah, see, butterfly spirit came out. It says transformation is beautiful. So there's going to be a transformation that occurs with this situation, and it eventually will work out. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some work. The divine feminine just needs to know her place in the situation, and it's not to be going against the karmic feminine just because the divine feminine has decided, because the divine masculine has decided to marry you or to make you his woman. That is not your place. You are to step back and encourage your divine masculine and work with him, but do not challenge the karmic feminine. We have whale spirit, trust in the great mystery. Yeah, because there are going to be things that you're not going to understand. It's going to be a trying time. Because again, the karmic feminine, is going to be guns blazing. All right. She is not going to give up. She is going to be angry, frustrated, all kinds of shit. And so, there's no telling what she's going to do. All right. So you have to understand that, you have to pray to your ancestors, divine feminine, divine masculine. You guys pray together. Okay. Pray together, pray individually, pray separately, pray 3 times a day, if you need to during this time until things start to lighten up. But it's going to be a while before it does. So just brace yourself. All right, one more. Okay, we have dog spirit. Be loyal to what you love. So, This is about being loyal to who it is that you love. For the karmic feminine, you need to be loyal to yourself. You need to be loyal to who you love, which is you. And if you don't love yourself, for a lot of you, that's what's going on. You don't, because you were in environments where you were not taught to. You need to heal that inner child. All right, you may need to speak with a psychologist, a professional counselor, because again, you can't give your child the love that you that the child deserves if you don't love yourself. I don't care what anybody tell you. I don't give a shit what anybody say. I don't got kids. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say it, okay? And I don't have to have kids to know this. But if you don't love yourself, you cannot love your children. And I mean it in a sense where you can't love them full and wholeheartedly as a parent should if you don't love yourself. How the hell can you love anybody if you don't love yourself? Okay, there's plenty of people out here who got children. They take care of them, they feed them, and they love their kids. They don't want nothing to happen to them, but they don't love them at the depth that they could because they don't love themselves to that depth. All right. So you have to be loyal to who you love. If you want your child to have a successful connection with their father, and part of that is accepting the fact that you can't be with this man anymore, and accepting the fact that there is somebody out there for you, but you just have to do the work. You have to let this man go, first of all, number one. Number two, do the work that you need to do to put you in a position where you're not going to be out there being a sucker for love, doing anything for a man's attention, loving yourself and loving on yourself and taking care of your children. And then, the divine will send you someone. But that's what I got. I don't want to spend too much time on this video. But yeah, that's 30 minutes already. But I wanted to put something out there for everybody, the karmic masculine, the karmic feminine, the divine masculine, and the divine feminine, so that everybody understands where everybody's coming from. Again, there's very little information on the karmic feminine, just except for the shit she does. But nobody's talking about where she's coming from, a place of hurt, a place of frustration, why she does what she does, and, what it is that she can do to, try to get past the pain that she's experiencing. So I wanted to put something out there, All right, but that's what I got. Like I said, I'm going to do one for the divine masculine. For the karmic masculine as well. Attached at the end of this video is going to be the video that talks about how to heal, or how you go about starting to heal your childhood wounds. Some people don't like going to psychologists or psychiatrists and things like that. So another good thing for you to do is to learn your natal chart, understand the placements of your chart, talk to a great astrologer. Fernando Prudhomme is, if you go to my channel and you go to my subscriptions, you'll see his name there. It's Fernando Prudhomme, Prudhomme. He is an amazing astrologer. He deals with the psychological aspects of, how the aspects come out psychologically as far as in your actions and your behavior. He charges, from what I know, $350 to go over your chart. He does like over a year. He'll do sessions with you, and it's just that one time $350, which to me, that's priceless compared to the information that he will give. Start watching his channel and you'll see what's up. But that'll help as well if you don't want to do like the psychologist type of thing. All right. But I love you guys and I wish you all the best. Take care.